it's playing, continue to say hello to each other in the chats. If you want to also take this time to just breathe and to start to settle into the evening, and listen to her beautiful voice and this beautiful nigun to welcome us into the Shabbat evening. Chag Sameach, everyone. It actually, I feel so much calmer once I've heard Gayan's voice. And I know you've had the pleasure of having her for so many years. I want to welcome you all to Shabbat tonight. For those of you who I haven't met or had the pleasure of being in some sort of CBH offering, my name is Rebecca Goldsmith, and I am going to be with you bringing in Shabbat tonight. And I want to tell you that CBH has become a bit of a home away from home for me, and it's definitely the community that comes up when I think about places that I want to be, particularly during the COVID period. But I have also gotten to spend several different holidays and different experiences at CBH, starting with Shabbat Shirah several years ago, where I just was blown away by the community and the connection. And I want, it's an honor for me and a privilege to be here with you all, bringing Shabbat in, bringing this particular Shabbat in Pesach, and counting the Omer together. We started tonight with the swimming nigun because tonight one of the things we're going to be doing is dipping into some waters together. Tonight's alternative reading for the parsha, the weekly parsha, is from Beshalach, and it's the time when the people of the Israelites turn away from the wilderness and they move toward the Sea of Reeds and the Red Sea, and they move towards the waters. We're going to talk about that a little bit more, a little bit later. The other thing that, another theme for the night is sound. And sound, as you might know, is measured in waves. It's the vibrations, how they move. And we have so much water inside of us, these two things, the waters that we face, the waters that are inside us, and the waters that move with sound. Also, one thing that we'll weave in, we'll talk about tonight, is the name of this holiday that we're in, Pesach. Peh and Sach. In another translation of that word, Pesach, is that the mouth speaks. The mouth. So we go from the internal into the external with sound. And we meet at the water's edge, opening to liberation in these waters that we talk about during this holiday. So let's start with where we are right now in this moment, where we begin to welcome Shabbat. We begin to let go of all of the ways that we are holding the week. Maybe you've had a lot of matzah this week. Maybe you're sick of it. Maybe you still got boxes and you don't know what to do with it. And so here we are starting to shed the layers. So what I'd love to do is start to bring us into this space together, this virtual space, start to peel the walls away. I want to let you know a couple of logistical things before we do that, is to say that I want to welcome you to continue to work with the chat and say hello to each other and talk with each other, engage as you will. I will not be able to use the chat. My computer has decided I can't access chat. So if you're private messaging me, I will not be able to see that. But please feel free to keep checking in. And if you have any questions or problems, to check in with Haley at Congregation Beit Chavrim, and she'll be able to help you. If you can turn on your cameras and you feel comfortable showing yourself, we'd love to see you. And switch back and forth right now. If you can find yourself in the speaker view, you'll be able to see who's speaking more clearly. And then every once in a while, turn yourself into the gallery view so you can really see who's here. And so that's a little bit about some logistics for tonight, but sing, welcome your voice. You know, we're on mute technically, but really we're not on mute in our lives. And so release your sound, open to Shabbat as we move through this beautiful night together. So take a moment, look around your space, and bring the space in with you. Let's settle the nervous systems a little bit. Whatever was going on for you today, good, difficult, neutral, it's all welcome. And take a moment to just look around your room and in the space you're in, and let your eyes settle on something that's pleasing to you. You don't have to know why. Just when you do, just stop and notice that thing. It might be a shape or a color or texture. Maybe it's a meaningful object. And when you feel like you've looked at that for long enough, just take another kind of gaze around the room and find something else that you find pleasing, and just settle on that. Begin to allow your breath to slow. Maybe this is the first time you've had all week to pause. What a beautiful time to do so. And as you're ready, come back to these squares. And if you're in gallery view, or if you can see one photo somewhere on your screen that's not yours, take a moment and just look at someone else who's here. And imagine that their space is filled with love and Shabbat. And we are all together in this space, in this time, body and soul and spirit. I want to welcome Ellen Mazer, who's going to give us a little bit more of an opening meditation as we begin.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I've been asked to read a poem by Rabbi and Kohenet, is it Kohenet? Jill Hammer. Call forth a moment of earth, wind, stone, soil. Call forth a moment of water, ocean, stream, rain. Call forth a moment of air, wind, song, breath. Call forth a moment of fire, candle, sun, lightning. Let these moments ground you as you open your heart to pray.
Thank you so much, Ellen. And now to bring in the light and the fire, we'll welcome Henry Farber and Lynn Sockler. And tonight we get to say blessings for both Shabbat and for the Yom Tov, for the holiday.
Rebecca, Ellen, thank you for those beautiful thoughts. I'm Henry. Lynn's here too. Before we light, I'd just like to do a very brief show and tell that I've procrastinated on for 7 or 8 years. This is a photograph of the synagogue building in Weldon, North Carolina, where I spent my bar mitzvah through age 16 years. And the reason I'm showing this is because it sort of demonstrates how I've come full circle in my life with Congregation Bet Havarim, because this building is even smaller than our synagogue building. Just one footnote from Weldon, North Carolina days. On November 22nd, 1963, I was leading show and tell at the synagogue. I was explaining to my classmates that afternoon what a synagogue was all about. All the other classmates were non-Jewish, and word spread through our little 4th grade crowd that John F. Kennedy had just been shot and killed. And we immediately went into a mournful prayer. So the first morning prayer of mourning for the President of the United States in 1963 was a mourner's Kaddish. I thought you might be interested. Lenny?
So somebody will have to help us with the second blessing for the holiday. We'll get the first Shabbat one right.
And it's very easy, Lynn. Thanks for asking. You just add to the end of the prayer, Ve Yom Tov. Shel Shabbat ve Shel Yom Tov. Yeah, and I'll help you if you can't remember.
Okay, thank you.
So we'll say 2 prayers, one for Shabbat.
One prayer.
Ta-da.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat
Yom Tov.
Yom Tov.
Amen.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Henry and Lynn. Thank you for that beautiful picture and sharing of your story. Really appreciate it. So we're going to move back to, we're going to start in our Siddur. If you have it or it's online, it's page 13. And we're going to welcome the angels, the messengers for Shabbat. Now, on this holiday, this Pesach, this holy day, you know, one of the moments of the beginning of liberation is the 10th plague, which we know of as the angel of death, the messenger of death that comes to slay the firstborn of all of the Egyptians. Well, in that moment, as there are the angel of death, there's also the angels of life and the messengers of life who are bringing life to us. And so we sit, these two angels sit very closely together. And on Shabbat, we also have angels with us. And so in this beautiful way, we welcome the angels in, the angels of peace, to come, to stay with us, to fill us, and to then go in peace. So may that be a wish for all of us. And please join me in singing page 13. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Baruchuni leshalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Please go in peace. Tzedchem leshalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Angels, angels all around. We're going to go into breakout rooms and say hello to each other. You have two choices we're going to post in the chat so you can remember them when you go into your chat, your rooms. Either what has been meaningful for you for this Passover, during this Passover period, or what is something that you appreciate from this week. Your choice. And you have 3 minutes. You've got about 3 or 4 minutes inside of each of these groups. So say hello, and we'll see you back here in a little bit. Hi, folks. Are you staying with us during this time? Or are you not able to access your breakout rooms? It's okay if you want to stay here. It's totally fine. But if you're having technical challenges, we want to know so we get you into a room. Hi, Eli. Shabbat Shalom. And Kirsten.
I meant to join a room, but when the pop-up came up, I was starting my video, and then the pop-up went away. I thought it was going to automatically.
Okay, let's see if we can get you back in a room.
There we go. Thank you.
Yeah, bye-bye. Okay. Well, Shabbat Shalom to all of you who are still here with us, or with me, with each other. It's like our own breakout room.
I just joined in. Who are you?
Oh, is this Renee who's talking right now?
Yeah, how'd you know
Renee.
that?
You're the only one that's not muted. So I've got great powers of deduction, I think. Shabbat Shalom, first of all. Happy Passover as well. My name's Rebecca Goldsmith, and I'm leading services tonight.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Are you a member of the congregation?
Decades.
Wow. Well, maybe I feel a little silly welcoming you, but
Yeah.
glad to see you. Thanks for asking.
People do it all the time. you know, high holiday service is welcome. Okay, I'm going to wear a name tag that says old CBH or something like that.
Awesome.
And where do you live?
I live in Philadelphia,
That's what I
Pennsylvania.
thought.
Yeah. How did you think that?
Well, because I thought, I know you don't live here, just because I know things, you know, feel things.
Wow.
And
You're good.
well, maybe not that good. And let's see, in an email, they said something maybe about a rabbi visiting this week.
I think that's a different thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But that's okay. Maybe Philadelphia is having a little bit of a spotlight this week in your community.
So you're here because you just wanted to join in the service?
I was asked to lead the service tonight, and I have spent a lot of time in different moments over the past 4 years with CBH. So I'm not new to CBH, although I am new to you. But this is a community that I really, really love, very dear to my heart.
Oh, when you talked for a few minutes, I was hoping you were a potential rabbi.
Ah. So does my dad. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I see you, Amy. Shabbat shalom. Thanks for waving. Always too short, I'm sure, and chance to kind of just say hi to folks a little bit. We're going to do some praising and welcome Shabbat with Lechuna Ranana. This is, you know, much of the Thanksgiving that we do in Kabbalat Shabbat is done through these waves of collective sound. And the very first line of Lechuna Ranana on page 21, if you want to bring your book, where did it go? There we go. If you want to open to that page of Lechuna Ranana, our first psalm is, it says, let us sing out our song in gratitude for the source of all being. You couldn't get more of an exclamation point than that. We're raising our voices in song. So let's hear it. Let's hear it through the muted sounds on page 21, Lechuna Ranana, the first verse. Join with me, if you will. Lechuna Ranana. Ladonai Nahariya Letzur Yishenu Nekadema Fanav Betoda Bizmirot Nahariya Lo Ya la la ya 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 la la ya 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 la la ya 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 la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya 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 la la ya 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 la la ya 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 la 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 ya ya la 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 Lechuna Ranana Ladonai Nahariya Letzur Yishenu Nekadema Fanav Betoda Bizmirot Nahariya Lo. Song and voice. So tonight we're going to do another psalm, but because it's also a time for Hallel, for praise, we're going to bring a different song of praise in tonight, an alternative. And this one is one that you might know, some of you might know. This is Nishmat Kol Chai. The breath of every living being shall bless your name. Even if our mouths were as full of the song as the sea, our tongues as full of gladness as its waves, if our lips were full of praise like the spacious heavens, and our eyes shone like the sun and the moon, our hands outstretched like eagle's wings, and our legs swift like gazelles, we could still not thank you enough. For even one of the thousand of thousands and myriads of goodness that you have bestowed upon our ancestors and upon us. Nishmat kol chai Tevarech et shimcha Yah Eloheinu Nishmat kol chai Tevarech et shimcha Adonai Eloheinu Yai 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 Nishmat kol chai Tevarech et shimcha Yah Eloheinu. Page 41, Lecha Dodi. Maybe we're ready to welcome in Shabbat. Maybe we need a little more. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I will meet you there. And so just like the Kabbalists of the 16th century in Sfat who used to go out to the fields at sundown to welcome Shabbat, may we welcome Shabbat in a field where there is no wrongdoing and there is no right doing, there only is. Lecha Dodi, page 41, also in your chat. Lecha, lecha Dodi, lecha Dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nika bela. Shamor vezachor בדיבור אחד השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה, לך לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, לקראת כלה, פני שבת, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני, יאללה, 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 עלייך נגלה, לך לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, לקראת כלה, פני שבת, פני שבת נקבלה. ימין ושמאל תפרוצי, ואת אדוני תריצי, על יד איש בן פרצי, ונשמחה ונגילה, לך לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, לקראת כלה, פני שבת, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה, לך לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, לקראת כלה, פני שבת, פני שבת נקבלה. Just take a moment to notice, check in your body and just notice how you're feeling, what might feel different for you now than when we first began our service. This might be another moment to just kind of look around at the group, just give some greetings to people in your mind. We're moving to the Chatzi Kaddish on page 55. We start beginning to mark the transition, moving into Mariv. Page 55. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shmei Rabbah. Let me start that again because I'm singing another melody. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shmei Rabbah. There we go. Ve'amad yirach yirutei ve'amlich malchutei v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala ba'agala u'v'zman kariv ve'imeru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam ul'almei almaya yitbarach yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yithalal Shmei dekudesha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma ve'imeru Amen. Page 15-7, and sing along with me if you know this melody. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 ay. And if it's your tradition to stand in body or spirit, ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Baruch hu et Adonai. Yai, lai, 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 yai, yai, yai. Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Leolam Va'ed Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn and brings the evening dusk, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness into light. Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzavaot shemo, El Chai v'kayam, Tamid yimlach aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Haravim. Even though this is listening and that is listening, one involves the direction of the heart and the other one doesn't. So says the Mishnah, one of the great parts of our tradition, great teachings in our tradition. So we move in to this place of Shema and Ahavat Olam, love, in a sandwich of love around one of our central prayers. We move in with our hearts, we move in with listening, we say the word listen. And as we do, we give ourselves the intention to open to love, to open to to the divine love, to prepare ourselves. We return to the essence, to the primordial waters. We surrender, and in that surrender, we are opened to feeling, to listening. An alternative to Ahavat Olam tonight. This first part is really a blessing to honor the surrender into the arms and the waters that hold us. In the arms of the mother, the great loving waters of the mother. In the arms of the mother, I lay down. And as we are laying down and laying back and letting the waters just rock us and hold us, we might even be looking up at the sky as the nighttime opens itself to us. We can hear more. Our senses are more awakened. Our heart is more awakened. And so this next part, I'm going to sing it twice. The first time, if you can just imagine yourself being sung to by the divine, by someone who loves you unconditionally or who has loved you in your life unconditionally. And the second time, you are singing back to that person, to the Creator, to all beings. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. Let me believe that love is possible. Let me remember the courage in my soul. Let me believe that love is possible. Let me remember the courage in my soul. Listen, 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 listen. Please join me on page 65 for the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. So I'd like to, in this moment, we have Micha Mocha next, and Micha Mocha is actually part of the Song of Songs, and it's part of this time and this parsha that we focus on. But we're not going to sing it tonight. We're going to do an alternative. Why, you wonder? Well, what I want to really uplift in this moment is the collective voice. At the moment that we crossed the waters of liberation and we were on the other side, we have this notion, we have this story of Miriam singing, dancing with her timbrel and dancing and bringing us dancing and singing together. But she didn't do it alone. She did it with the women who came and danced with her. And so in this moment where we are on this journey and we have just crossed the sea, I want to take this moment to really uplift the collective. It's not just the leader who comes out and shares. It's the voices that stand and rise with the leader that give everyone else the inspiration, the permission, the courage to join too. So I want to invite Ariella Friedman to share this song with us. And this is a call and response that we can all sing from where we are together. Hi, Ariella.
Hi, Rebecca. Well, I wanted to pass along some love to you that's in the chat. There's a ton of love. Everybody is enjoying your voice so much. So I wanted
thank you. If you weren't here at the beginning, I can't read any of the chats or respond to private messages. So please don't think I'm being rude. Thank you.
Well, and since Henry did a show and tell, I wanted to do a show and tell too. So this is Ashira Ve'azamera, which is the song we're going to sing. And I made this piece a couple years ago when I joined the chorus, and it's all about just joining my voice with other people. And that felt like freedom to me. And I think that's really relevant to Passover too. So it's a call and response. Rebecca, I'm going to lead and Rebecca's going to be the echo, and everybody else feel free to join. Ashira.
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 V'yasameira.
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 Ura kivodi.
Ura kevodi.
Ura kivodi.
Ura kevodi.
Ashira.
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 V'yasameira.
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 Ura kivodi.
Ura kevodi.
Ura kivodi.
Ura kevodi. Would you read the words to us in English, Ariella, out loud?
Sure. I will sing and chant and awaken my soul. Through my voice and breath, I can bring forth my own essence, which is connected to all sparks of the divine.
Amen. I don't know about you, but I would for sure follow you into the sea and I would dance with you if you were singing and calling out that song. Thank you.
I can't wait until we can all be together and do that again.
Amen. Amen. We're moving to 80 and 81, the Hashki Venu, this canopy of peace that we are blessed to bring in every Shabbat. Holy Shekhinah, as you descend on wings of the Sabbath, give me the grace to perceive the living soul you have placed within me. May I feel your love within. May my loved ones, my community, and my world know the peace and healing of your presence. As you spread your shelter over us, Teach us to spread compassion wherever we go, knowing that all beings are kindled from divine light. Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shelomecha. Sing with me in this chant. Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shelomecha. Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shelomecha. Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shelomecha. Welcome back, Ariella.
Please join me in Shaviti. Shaviti Havaya Lenekti Tamid Shaviti Havaya Lenekti Tamid Havaya 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 Ahava 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 Havaya 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 Ahava 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 Shaviti Havaya Lenegdi Tamid Shaviti Havaya Lenegdi Tamid.
I place myself facing Yah always. I place myself within the presence of Yah always. I am conscious. I am presence. I am now. We move into the silent Amidah. Maybe at last we're at the water's edge, ready to open, ready to pray, ready to speak our heart, ready to sit and allow whatever wants to be here with us now. We open our mouths, and may those mouths fill with praise, even if they're silent. Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid, Ufi Yagid, Ufi yagid tehilatecha. And let's sit in silence together. Yalalai, hi, 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 So now is the moment where we are going to count the Omer. And in a moment after that, I'm going to talk a little bit about sound and voice. And so I'm actually going to ask if there's someone who might be brave, who might not normally volunteer for things in our community. We're going to post the prayer in the chat. And if there's someone who would be willing to unmute themselves, you can raise your hand and let me know if you're willing, and we'll ask you to unmute yourself, and then you can count the Omer. Today is the beginning of the 6th day of the Omer. And this is, it's Yesod Shebechesed. So the whole week is Chesed, loving kindness. And this is the foundation, Yesod, the foundation, the togetherness of loving kindness. So if that's calling to anybody and you want to be brave and welcome the prayer with us, let's see if anybody's raising your hand to do so. I know it's a big leap, but we're all about voice today. I see Elizabeth Cohen raising your hand. Maybe some other people who I didn't see. Thank you so much. Elizabeth, will you raise your hand and count, like give us the blessing of the Omer?
Baruch atah Adonai Havaya Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer. Hayom shisha yamim leomer. Yesod sheba chesed.
Beautiful. Blessed are you, the ever becoming one who creates sacredness in this world through acts of loving kindness, mitzvot, and gives us the chance to become as well through the counting of the Omer. Today is the 6th day of the Omer. And may we seal this with words that let us become part of loving kindness with action. Join me if you know this. Olam chesed yibaneh, yalalai, yailai, yalalai, lai. Olam chesed yibaneh, yalalai, yailai, yalalai, lai. And if we build this world from love, yalalai, yailai, yalalai, lai, then God will build this world from love, ya la la, ya la, ya la la la. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for honoring us with your voice. I want to talk a little bit about what's calling to me this time of year, and also what calls to me every day of the year. So earlier, I sang in the arms of the mother, we surrender to love. We have this whole service that walks us into love and walks us into opening. And in this holiday, this moment, we are also at the precipice. We are at the water's edge in our parsha. So what do we do when we're at the water's edge and we're facing the unknown? Can you imagine this moment? Standing there with all kinds of danger at our backs and water in front of us and an unknown. And here we are, we've followed in faith. We followed in faith at great risk from something we knew to something we don't know. And we don't know how this is going to turn out. This is not something from our past. This happens all the time. We are always in moments where we are at the water's edge. And we often meet these moments with an act of trust or letting go. But what does come when we open? And what is it that makes us move from the water's edge into the surrender, into the action, into the trust, into the movement? I think that one such possible answer or exploration of this comes from this holiday, Pesach. Speaking, the mouth that speaks. We might also think that we are at the mouth of the water. But let's look at the word peh of Pesach. Peh is mouth, literally. And the Hebrew letter peh is also mouth. It's kind of curlicue. It sort of does this little squiggly. Let's just try. I'm gonna say the letter. I invite you actually to say the letter as well in your own home and just see what happens. See what the physicalization of being kind of at that moment where you have to make the choice to move. So try it with me. Peh. Peh. See what it does inside of you. See what's happening when you hold the p before you open it. Peh. For me, I feel a buildup inside of me. I can feel it go all the way down into my body. And I feel this buildup and this force, this pressure against my lips. It wants to be released, but I'm also resisting it. I'm holding it back. I'm holding it back. And then finally, I let it go. And it opens into the world. It moves me forward. The sound of this word, the sound of this beginning of the holiday name moves us, asks us to move. I work with voice. This is my life, is voice. And I work with it in a lot of different ways, the metaphor of voice and the literal voice. I think that the act of using our voices, the way we sing, the way we listen, is actually gives us a lot of information about who we are in the world. And so I think about the internal voice, the intuitive voice, the physical voice, the practical voice, the spiritual voice. All of these pieces kind of come together. And there's many more voices. They come together to help us really know who we are in any moment in time. It's really an act of being present. I can locate myself in the moment. So before I move forward, I have to know, where am I right now? I'm at the water's edge. I can't move forward. I'm at the p of the peh. Like tefillah, the word tefillah, which is Hebrew, which we say in English prayer, but tefillah itself is a reflexive verb that actually asks us to go inside and say, what is going on for us right now before I can connect in the world, before I can connect to the divine? What is happening to me right now? So in this practice of voice, in this practice of tefillah, in this practice of being right at the moment before I move, I listen. I breathe. Maybe I surrender. Maybe I let go a little. Maybe I just feel that I'm holding on, or that I feel that I'm afraid, or that I'm challenged. Then I make sound. And I move the sound. And in the moving, I move the vibrations in my body. I figure out what's happening in this moment. And when I'm lucky enough to sing with people, may that be so soon and often, I feel my voice as part of the collective. I feel how harmony lifts me, lifts others. I feel how my voice might give courage to others to sing. I feel how others' voices give me courage to sing. I learn to feel when it's time for me to lead and time for me to solo and step out further into the water and pull people with me and invite people in. And I also learn when it's time to uplift other voices and follow them. There's a video of movements. What makes a movement? Maybe you've seen it. It's a video of a concert where everyone's just sitting and the music is happening, and there's one person in the center of the view who's dancing all by themselves. For about a minute, they dance alone. And nobody gets up to dance. Finally, a second person comes and joins the dance. And within 20 seconds or so, the entire crowd, which has been sitting, is now up and dancing. The one person we needed, the leader, we needed Moshe to walk, to believe, to say this. And we also needed Shifra and Pua, who stood up against the edict of killing firstborns and saying, we will not do this. We needed Miriam to show up, to protect her brother, to bring the dance at the end of liberation. We needed Aaron to show up and support his brother. We needed Nachshon to stand in the waters first when we were going into liberation. We need all of our individual voices, and then we need the collective. We need the people who will come after and the people who will come after. We need ourselves to feel the resistance and burst open anyway. Isai Barnwell, Dr. Isai Barnwell, co-founder of Sweet Honey in the Rock, says that when we sing, we take a position in the universe. When we sing, we take a position in the universe. So many of the people in this story took positions in the universe of the redemption, the story of redemption and liberation, individual acts that collectively created the possibility for redemption. Aurora Levins Morales, in her poem, The Red Sea, lifts up another perspective. In her poem, she says, back then, one man's faith opened the way. He stepped in. We were released and our enemies drowned. This time, we're tied at the ankles. We cannot cross until we carry each other. All of us refugees, all of us prophets. No more taking turns on history's wheel, trying to collect old debts no one can pay. The sea will not open that way. This time, that country is what we promise each other. Our rage pressed cheek to cheek until tears flood the spaces between. Until there are no enemies left, because this time no one will be left to drown, and all of us must be chosen. This time it's all of us or none. We will always have moments where we're standing at the water's edge, where danger is behind us and the unknown is in front of us. Sometimes we're alone in those processes, and sometimes there will be many of us waiting, hoping someone will step forward. May we know what our positions are in life. when it is time to use our voice, may we understand that our voices are always tools of liberation for us personally, for us as a collective. May we take the positions we are to take when we are called in, to know when to lead solo, when to support others in harmony, when to listen and step back. And may we always know when the collective voice is what is most needed. May we know the taste of collective liberation when all of us are chosen. And when Miriam raises her timbrel in joyous song, may we raise our voices too. So friends, house of friends and friends for real, we move to the Misha Berach. I'm going to read a list and I'm going to invite you, if there's anyone that you are feeling you'd like to send some words of healing and support to, if you want our community to witness their names, if you need a little healing, go ahead and put those names in the chat right now as I read the names from the list. Richard Adler, Marilyn Pankin, Maureen Kalmanson, Richard Cohen, Jenny Williams Cohen, Mario Eugene Hudson II, Lois Birch, Andrea Finn and Bev Corfin, Yuli Sprick, Ellie Emmerich Hart, Chai or Kai, I'm sorry about my name's misspelling, and Billy Natch, Claude Baruch, Jordan and Jamie Schwartz, Tesla Queen, Janice Blackman, Beth Ann Budicant, Nancy Davis, Megan Radant, Janice Roger, Pilar Barclay, the Benton Snook family, the Levin family, the Kolbs, Reckelman family, Grady Floyd Adair, Eyal Schechter, Audrey Galex, Faith Russler, Dolly Wax, Esther Myers, Ellen Leary, Monique Gauthier, Julio Quintana, Jacob Gutman, Rana Crozy, Patty Marcus. We're going to hear the Misha Berach Elna from the Red Thread so that we have a blanket of our community's voices as we really listen and breathe in healing for this moment.
Misha Berach מקור החיים לאמותינו הוא יברך וירפא את החולים את החולים
So now we'll welcome Mackenzie Wren to share some announcements, upcoming things happening.
Hi, friends. Shabbat Shalom. What a wonderful deep breath of a Shabbat. So fantastic to be with you, Rebecca and Ariella, the both of you bringing your voices and your Torah to us tonight. So I'm speaking, I will be doing the announcements, I promise, but I'm also going to take the bima for a moment as the chair of the transition team and talk to you a little bit about something that actually Rebecca alluded to, where we are in our parsha, and that courage to step into the sea, and we've passed through the sea, and it's the unknown, and where are we going? So friends who are our members and friends who are coming for the first time and friends who are exploring, bear with me for a moment as I talk to our members in a way. We have so many changes going on at CBH. We have the fabulous Rebecca Goldsmith leading us tonight, and that is part of the changes that we are experiencing tonight. There's so many changes that my jewelry is falling off all around us here. So, so I wanted to talk about these changes, and hopefully all of you had a chance to read the transition times which came out today. But I thought it was important to hear, for you all to hear a little bit about what's happening and to offer some reassurance, because we are in this place of transition, and that means that there's so much that's not known. We do not yet have an executive director. We do not yet have an interim rabbi, right? We do not yet know what rabbis will be officiating at every Brit Mitzvah. We do not yet know these things. And so there can be uncertainty. And so I'm here because Brad's not available. So I'm here to offer you a voice that says, we are okay. We have everything that we need because we have each other. And we have this incredible wealth of talent and a solid core. Because that we've gotten emails that said, what's happening to CBH? Are we falling apart? And really the answer is absolutely not. We're not falling apart, because we have so much skill and so much talent and so much history, and we're moving forward together through this change. And maybe it feels to some like we are wandering, and maybe it feels to some that we've not yet taken that step into the Red Sea. Maybe for some, we're already in the Promised Land. So there's all kinds of different feelings as we go through this change. And so I just wanted to take a moment to encourage that deep breath of trust. The transition team is working super hard. We've been interviewing like crazy, working with the Brit Mitzvah kids and their families to hold and make sure that that which is integral to CBH is continuing. And we are so blessed, again, with folks like Rebecca, with all of us here who offer the mindful moments, and that now the 15-minute minyan, it's extended. That's how powerful that moment is. It's a fifth move from 10-minute minyan to 15-minute minyan. And we are holding each other and doing things like Zaders and the Purim Cabaret and the Red Thread show that's coming up, and a program on grief that Nancy Kreisman is doing, and a program that Margie Osheroff is doing as well, which I think is on AIDS. Margie, I don't have all the details on that. Go ahead. We're doing lots of food security. I got you up, Margie. I'll catch you back up. I'll catch you back in, Marjorie. So all these things are happening, and we are creating them, right? We're doing all of this. So I really just wanted to say we are working so hard behind the scenes, and we as a community, this house of friends, are holding each other to get through this time as we work on our changes, which are so hard. And we have our open mouths and our open hearts, and we have our song, and together we will sing and dance and guide each other into this new place. So that was not the announcements, that was the transition announcements. So now it's time for the announcements. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Welcome everybody to the House of Friends. Hey, we welcome the first timers, we welcome the old timers, we welcome everybody here tonight. We have people from all over the country. And so here's what we have coming up. We've got Rabbi Gottfried leading a Yizkor service tomorrow at 10 a.m. We have meditation and chant on April 5th at 6 p.m. p.m. We have mindful moments continuing every weekday at 8:45. We have 15-minute Minion, formerly known as 10-minute Minion. It continues, including Saturday through Thursday at 8:30 p.m. and all are welcome to join. Next Friday, April 9th, join us for Shabbat service led by Rabbi Josh with a guest speaker, a rabbinical student. Isn't it fantastic that rabbinical students are still becoming rabbis? We've got more people entering the fold. And her name is Mei Yi. I'm sorry, I don't know. I think it's Mei Yi. So we're excited to hear her Torah. We have a bar mitzvah, Lucian Leon, at 9:30 a.m. next April 10th. How exciting is that? Then we have new programs on the calendar. I mentioned getting to the other side of sadness, finding meaning in grief. There's been so much of it this year. So that's what Nancy will be leading us in. It's a 2-session series. And it's how it can be processed through a Jewish lens. How can we use our tradition to hold us in this time? April 18th, Red Thread Art Show. Look at Amy Lighthill. She's waving around her thneed, isn't that what the Lorax says? It was a thneed? Yeah, everybody needs a thneed. So we're going to have a fabulous evening of creativity where it's a silent auction and 24 original works of art and craft because we are being inspired and trying to pay off Red Thread, our incredible, most recent album. And that's another thing that we did. We released an album during COVID. So we've got photography, painting, textiles, sculpture, jewelry. So bring your bidding paddle, and there'll be a few other surprises along the way. Food Security Project, looking for fresh faces. Everybody, we need people, we need drivers. We support 15 families a week. So email Rebecca Grapevine. Not even going to say her email. It's all in your bet mail. Please support Red Thread. Margie put the information for the program in the chat. It went going so fast that I couldn't see it. And as always, do not contact the staff through Facebook or social media. They love us, but not that much. So email them, and email them. And as always, for a full view of our offerings, please visit the CBH calendar on our website. And with that, friends, I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom.
Mackenzie ran, everyone! Woo! Amazing. I've only heard word of you singing these announcements, so now I feel blessed in this. Friends, we're coming to the end, and we're going to move to Ein Od Milvado, an alternative, but inside of the Aleinu on page 145. Please join me. Ein Od Milvado, Ein Od Milvado Adonai. Hu Elohim, Ein Od Milvado, Ein Od Milvado Adonai. Hu Elohim, Ein Od Milvado, Ein Od Milvado Adonai. Hu Elohim, Ein Od Milvado, Ein Od Milvado Adonai. Hu Elohim. Welcome Tom Downs to share the prayer for the end of hiding.
Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach. And thank you for such a high energy, positive service tonight. It's really helpful for me. My first service that I came to CBH, and at the end of the service, when I heard this prayer recited and we read it together, I knew I found my home. And this is very special to me. Anyway, please read it along with me if you'd like. As LGBTQ Jews, we are aware of the loss of integrity we suffer due to pressures of the larger society. We often feel forced to be into a dishonest presentation of ourselves, to ourselves and others. The LGBTQ individuals who feel they must pretend to be something that they are not. The Jews who feel they must be alienated from their tradition and community to win larger acceptance. Both are victims of a theft of identity and integrity committed by the sexual gender identifying or religious majority. Creator of the universe, we ask that our hiding draw to an end, that we no longer feel we have to pretend, to promise falsely, to renounce ourselves, and that our fullest creative expression as Jews and as lesbian, gay, transgender, bisexual, and queer people be among the blessings you bestow upon us. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Tom. We turn to the Mourner's Kaddish on page 131. If it is your tradition to stand in body and spirit, if you are in mourning or observing a yahrzeit, please join me. Unmute yourselves. You can enter the names of people into the chat as well. And we start on page 131 together. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah be'ama divra chiruteh be'yamlich malchuteh b'chaye chon uvyome chon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv ve'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam ulmei almei almaya. Yitbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yitpa'ar ve'yitromam ve'yitnaseh ve'yithadar ve'yitaleh ve'yithalal shmei dekudasha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata ve'shirata tush bechata ve'nechemata da'amiran be'alma ve'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru. Amen. I want to thank Haley and Henry, who were behind the scenes, sharing and making sure that we were taken care of tonight, and to all of our congregation people who spoke and gave so much from your heart. Everyone shared a story in their hearts. How beautiful that we could create community this way. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful Shabbat. We're going to end with Oseh Shalom, and imagine that we have moved. We are in liberation. We are on the other side. And we have this beautiful Oseh Shalom, the original Nava Tehillah recording. We're going to start it in the middle. And if you are called to dance, to move your bodies, to celebrate, to call in what it feels like, to take the risk, to show up, to be with each other and celebrate, please do. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Oseh Shalom Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu Israel
Good Shabbos. Open up your microphones. Open your sound. Say hello to everyone. Have a beautiful Shabbat.
Thank you.
Rebecca.
Hey everyone!
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you, Rebecca. I love
Enjoy your
it.
last couple of days of Passover.
Moadim l'simcha. Yes, to the last couple of days.
Thank you everyone for the warm welcome.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Last yet, but
Beautiful
Good to
service.
see y'all.
thank you.
Shabbat shalom. I am.
Right.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was fabulous, Rebecca. And I heard you last night at the Earth Singing, and it was sublime.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
I texted that, but you didn't get it.
Yeah, I don't know that I got it. Thank you for that. Well, we have this chance now. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you very much. Yeah. Shabbat shalom to all of you.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
It's
shalom,
hard to
Erin,
leave someone
Ruthie.
like you.
Oh, wow. That's like right here in my heart. Thank you.
Certainly.
We've got too many good singers have been leading. You need to let somebody who's terrible at singing take a turn.
No.
We need some eardrums to get burst. Like, where's the equality?
Listen, Aaron, my belief is that everyone can sing. So you're not going to get a bad singing voice recommendation from me.
I can give one, me.
Listen, how many people tell me that story? I mean, I know that that's real, but everyone can sing. It's just we don't always know yet. So,
I was leading services one night, and in the middle of a call and response, I forgot the tune. Fortunately, there was a cantoral student in the congregation who picked it up for me.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, I'm going to get off now and finish Shabbat here in Philadelphia. But so nice to spend this time with you. May we do it in person at some point.
Good to see you in person soon.
Yeah.
I'm glad there are these Zoom calls, because I didn't realize that they were here. So at the start of this pandemic, right before it started, I was thinking, I want to try and start attending a synagogue, and then with perfect timing.
Aaron, are you in Atlanta?
I'm in the Lilburn Stone Mountain area, so the kind of metro Atlanta area.
Okay, great. So it's actually a place that you could. Oh, were you going before in person?
No, you haven't been able to see the chat. I'm new to Bet Haverim, new to going to synagogue. I grew up, my family didn't put a huge emphasis on our religion. My parents, we attend, I went to Shabbat dinner at my grandparents every once in a while. So I remember having to, go and wash your hands and then waiting excitedly for the challah, the only thing there I really liked eating, and all that. But as far as attending synagogue, the only thing I really remember from that is, going as a kid and wondering, when I was going to get to eat.
It's important when you're a kid and an adult.
Yeah. So I haven't. I'm pretty secular. I don't. I'm not very religious, but I guess I didn't. For a long time, I didn't realize that I guess I didn't see that there was so much of a culture. It's not just religion. It's not just. It's not Christianity. It's not all about the religious aspects so much as it is a culture and a connection to a people I belong to that I, don't really know enough about.
Yeah.
Trying to, I guess, connect with all that.
Well, you've landed in the right virtual community that can become your in-person community when it's time.
I've actually had Bet Hovering recommended to me by a few different people. So
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, on behalf of everyone who's been here a lot longer than me, welcome to the community.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm gonna say goodbye now. I think we're gonna end the chat, but really beautiful to be with you and nice to have a little after session party. Don't tell everybody else.
Shabbat Shalom.